Ow. What's up, everyone? Punchy back here. Welcome back to Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 2. What's Nagashi? We are back at school. We just found out from Mia and Rena, that the mayor is missing. Found out that Mian and the Kimiyoshi family, which is one of the three families, which we also learned about last time, were searching for the mayor who's disappeared. I was saying last video that I was wondering if he was deemed away, but then it would be confusing if he was deemed away, because then we would think that the Sonozaki family would know where he went, since we are assuming that they're the ones who do Oishiro-sama's curse stuff, so we don't know what's happening, essentially. Punchy's freaking out a bit, and he hasn't slept. It sucks. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. The class greeting was normal, but the atmosphere in the room was heavy. Some of you may have already heard, but last night, despite the late hour, the mayor never came home. Is there anyone here who saw the mayor yesterday? One or two hands went up in silence, and they told her about having seen him. None of it seemed to be vital information, however, and everyone began whispering amongst themselves. If anyone's seen the mayor, please tell an adult about it. Alright? Now then, let's begin class. After that, the same old lessons began. This is like a big crisis happening. We didn't have this kind of crisis before. This was starting as soon as shit hit the fan. Things have been going completely differently, and we've been learning so much. The rumors, once quieted, blossomed into flowers again at lunchtime. I could hear a few different conversations. They were mostly related to the mayor's disappearance. Summing them all up, I came out with this. Yesterday evening, the mayor went to a meeting at the shrine's assembly hall. The meeting ended after the sun had fully set, and everyone left. The elder's house was a bit far from the center of Hinamazawa. It was already late, and Hinamazawa doesn't have a lot of lights outside, which is creepy. Nobody saw the mayor after that meeting. However, because he would have been hungry, he wouldn't have taken any side trips. He would have gone straight home. However, no matter how long his family waited, he never returned. Some thought there might have been an accident. They left no stone unturned. They searched from the irrigation channels to the water wells, and even in the rice paddies, but they didn't find him. Did they search the, whatever it's called, that swamp? Of course, there was a limit to how far they could search in the middle of the night. The police were going to wait for daylight, then have the young men of town help search. If after all they still didn't find him, they're apparently even going to go looking in the mountains. Even now, at this moment, the adults were probably all searching for him. The more they searched in vain, and the more time passed, the only thing that came to mind was the curse. Yeah, see? The rumors of Odin Kakushi, of the demoning away. Why was he demoned away, though? Had he become this year's sacrifice to Oishiro-sama's curse, which had recently been occurring every year? That scary possibility, which everyone thought but nobody could say aloud, was slowly but surely spreading throughout the village. Was he demoned away and offered as a sacrifice to quell Oishiro-sama's anger? But why him? My classmates were whispering to each other that the curse didn't happen this year, so there shouldn't have been any sacrifices. Well, little do you know. I, on the other hand, I knew. The curse did happen again this year, and there were 2 people that died. This may sound strange, but I hadn't exactly thought the elder would be the one to go missing. Exactly. My reason was clear. She and I should have been a higher priority than him. The four of us were thieves that broke the taboo, and set foot into the sacred ritual storehouse. If Tomitake-san and Takano-san had suffered mysterious deaths, then it should have been mine and Shien's turn next. This time should have been Shien and me, eh? I laughed painfully to myself. I'd yelled at Shien over the phone that I didn't want to end up in such a terrifying situation, but now that someone other than me had disappeared, I could only think that I should have been the first to go. Punchy, what the fuck? Don't say it out loud. Onigafuchi, the bottomless swamp, said to have been the place where they drowned sacrifices long ago. Just as it ran in my thoughts, the villagers must have also considered the swamp. Maybe police divers were plumbing its depths even now. They probably wouldn't find anyone. Not a single missing person had ever been found. They'd always suspected Onigafuchi, but not once have they ever turned up a corpse from it. After all, it was a devilish bottomless swamp from which no one who ever sinks can ever return. I could hear someone telling their friend that in the classroom. Now that you mention it, Satoshi-san, he left around this time last year, didn't he? Satoshi, oh, we're learning about him. Huh? Satoshi? I've heard that name before. He was right. He disappeared because of last year's curse. The conversation was happening in the seat next to me, so I could hear it clearly. Didn't we search the whole village like this for Satoshi-san too? We didn't find him either. What did we decide that was? A demoning away, right? Yeah. I already withdrew all his savings and ran away from home. Someone from the police said there was someone who saw him get on a bullet train to Nagoya Station. Ran away, huh? I wasn't that interested in the reason, which seemed to be understandable in this case. Everyone else who disappeared had their own reasons too. Either they were still on the run because they were criminals, or they were a corpse that couldn't be found. It's not like any of them suddenly disappeared into thin air for no reason. But they disappeared. Someone disappeared whenever the curse took a life, as if by design. They may have had various understandable reasons, but they still disappeared. From that point of view, it really might have been a demoning away this time. The mayor's disappearance was the first such incident without a clear reason behind it. Of course, coming to that realization didn't help to resolve anything. This one's so weird. Oh, phew. Okay. So I just want to point this out. So for anyone like, I do get scared at jump scares, yes. But also the reason why it's so scary to me is because my desk is small, and my mic has a really short stand. It's a blue snowball, I think it's called. On the stand, it comes with this really short, so I'm leaning down to hit, and my computer is like, oh, I don't know, I need like a ruler. It's like a little over a foot, or a little under a foot away from me. So when they get really close like that, to me it's really close. It looks like I messed up the seasoning today. Sorry. Normally Rena would have devoured her lunch immediately, but today there was still a ton left. That wasn't because Rena's lunch didn't taste good or anything, though. Oh, Jesus. That isn't the case. Lunch today is as delicious as always. Stoka dips her chopsticks into Rena's bento box and pulls bits of food out one after the other. Yes, delicious indeed. Today in particular, in fact. Huh? You know those are pumpkin croquettes, right? Are you okay? Yes. If it's your pumpkin, then it's delicious. Did Satoku dislike pumpkin? Regardless, she forced herself to smile and shoved more into her mouth. Oh, good friend. Everyone knew. Nobody's lunch tasted very good today. Satoku kept shoveling it down, repeating her remark on how good it was. If it's that good, then I guess I could have some too. Satoku's gonna eat it all if we let her. It's just so good. I would certainly like it if Punchy-san were to eat some as well. Oh. Well, sometimes I have to show my adult generosity, right? Okay, don't hold back on my account. Eat enough for the both of us today. She really, really hated Pumpkin, didn't she? That made it all more touching to see Satoko's own brand of generosity. I grabbed her head and started stroking it. Satoko, in a somewhat exaggerated fashion, was bawling, tears streaming down her face. No way, you'll never grow up if you give away such good food. Rena, you eat too. I only have leftover vegetable stew, but it tastes great after having sat overnight. Yeah, the daikon radish has such a pretty color going through it. It looks delicious. I guess I'll have some then. Rena reached out with her chopsticks, and at last, the usual lunchtime atmosphere began to return. That was only at our desks, however. The dark tales of Oishiro-sama's curse, which had recurred for 5 years in a row, didn't cease. The whole classroom remained stuck in this somber mood. Oishiro-sama's curse had happened for 5 years straight. Everyone had wanted the previous year to be the last. What was Oishiro-sama's curse anyway? They were going to build a dam in Himazawa. The people building it were bad, so they were cursed. I would admit that much. Still, the dam project was frozen years ago, wasn't it? So why was the curse stubbornly persisting? I hit myself on the cheeks to perk myself back up. Everyone was trying so hard to brighten the mood. I couldn't go straight back to thinking about the curse like that. I forced the grim story out of my head. Driving Oishiro-sama's curse out of my thoughts was actually a good idea. In the end, that meant I would also be driving away the most terrifying thought of all, that I could be the curse's next target. Because Lucky Punchy realizes that there's still one person that needs to be demoned away. Mien's taking a while, isn't she? How long does it take to wash your hands? Mien had said she was going to wash her hands and left, and she hadn't come back. Yet. She's probably taking a little afternoon nap somewhere. I think she was up pretty late last night looking for the mayor after all. I smiled wryly and let out a sigh. Today was no good. However much we tried to lighten the mood, things always came back to the mayor. It was just a no-good day. I had just transferred here recently, so the shock of a curse happening 5 years running was an unimaginably big one. Maybe I do need to appreciate that. When Michan was really little, the mayor would always spoil her. When she was going through her prankster phase, he loved her like his own daughter. She told me that often. I see. Mien was in shock too. Someone disappearing at all because of a curse was a very scary thing. If the sacrifice was someone you knew though, then the shock must be 100 times worse. Satoko, as if she'd come to the same conclusion, bit her lower lip and looked downward. Oh, Rika-chan's taking a while too. Maybe they're taking a nice afternoon nap together? Rika wasn't out that late. As soon as she yawned, everyone gathered around her and started saying good night, good night. Now that she mentioned it, there were a lot of old people rubbing their prayer beads in fervent gratitude towards Rika-chan during the festival too. An image of the indulgent elderly came to mind. Had Rika-chan discovered a way to get herself to be pampered like that? Is there a reason the old people treat Rika-chan like an idol? Is she their ideal image of a granddaughter or something? I don't know anything about that, but I want to see Rika-chan yawning. It's probably all like, I want to take her home. I don't personally think that it's that cute. It's more of a gwah. She opens her mouth really wide so you can see the back of her throat. Her throat, the thing in her throat, all wobbly. Oh, okay. I never thought Rena-chan was Rena-chan. It's weird me saying that. Rena was that weird about it, but yeah. Rena's handy at times like these. I finally managed a heartfelt laugh. Oh, right. I'm on day duty today, aren't I? I need to go water the flower garden. The garden is right outside the teacher's lounge too, so they can immediately tell if you don't do it right. I think Stuck-chan is cute. Not only Rika-chan. Uvula, that's what you're saying. Can't breathe. I got a glimpse. It was so cute. Toko-chan is cute too. I'm gonna take you home. Rena was squeezing with her hands around Satoko's neck. I was trying to get a look into her throat. Oh. Poor Satoko. You know, Rena is... I can't say it out loud, but she is a notorious blank, isn't she? I don't know what the sentence is supposed to do. Hearing Satoko made a weird noise like a chicken being strangled was kind of hilarious, and I couldn't help but laugh. At some point, the classroom had erupted into laughter too. Maybe Rena was doing it on purpose. Even if she wasn't, this nonsense was a welcome sight. Anyway, let's get over to the flowers while I still have time. Slowly and quietly, lest I destroy the room's newfound peace, I left the classroom. The watering can was hanging up outside the kitchen. This building had originally been an all-male forestry service building, so there was apparently nothing so thoughtful as a garden here before. When they decided to have a school share the space, they built one there as a modest gesture of appreciation. But well, the flower bed, it was a little longer than you would expect. It went all around. It went all over the place. It was so big, one would need to refill the water can 5 or 6 times to get it all done. I was doing this together with the kid who was also, thankfully, on duty today. She was in the lowest grade though, and a full size smaller than even Rika-chan. I couldn't make a kid who would struggle just to fill the full watering can help me with this. For this, if one person was placed on duty with someone one liked, they do it all for you, so it'd be cake. No point in blaming her. I give up. I'll just get started. Watering can in hand, just as I was about to leave the building, the old man from the forestry office addressed me. Sonny, there's a vegetable garden behind the warehouse, right? It's all just about dried up. Water that too, would you? Oh, you mean the curry vegetable garden? The one with the potatoes and carrots and other things that are only ingredients for curry? It's definitely the personal garden for a curry-loving teacher, but making students responsible for its upkeep is getting them involved in her personal affairs. I couldn't say this to her face though, so I gave up and decided to carry out my day duties. The sunlight out front was strong. The great chorus of cicadas was strongly underlining how nothing was different today than yesterday. I passed by the classroom, and I don't know how it happened, but Ren and Satoko were in the middle of a huge melee. While I was gone, the kids had to arrange all their desks in a circle, for Marine, while everyone was cheering them on. Yeah, that's how it should be. Once school ended, we needed to return to reality, where talk of the elders' disappearance would once again be all over the place. I wanted everyone to forget about everything and have fun, just like yesterday, if only while they were at school. In that sense, Satoko's whirling elbow and Rena's backward flying spin kick made for what the hell is happening there? No. Even if as a result they flipped over my desk. Ah, that's my pencil box. Yeah, I'll just let it happen today. I set to work, hastily watering everything, wanting nothing more than to be done as soon as possible. That should about do it. No sooner than I thought that, than I remembered that I had to water the teacher's curry vegetable garden too. That's such a pain, but I have a feeling that it'll come back to bite me if I don't. I gave up, filled the can with water again, and headed behind the warehouse. Creepy ass, back area. This was a place students didn't like to go. It was always damp here, and you couldn't discard the possibility of slugs and pillbugs being around. Someone ran across her into a place like that. I was surprised. Whoa! Oh, it's Rika-chan. Don't scare me like that. Rika-chan was standing there like a puppet, devoid of life. I was the only one who was startled here. Rika-chan didn't even seem to react to my appearance. Rika-chan? Finally, she noticed me. Her expression was clearly abnormal. There was rent under her eyes, stained with tears and dirt. There were blades of grass stuck in her hair too, and her clothes looked as though she'd fallen to the ground. Rika-chan, are you hurt? Did you fall? No, that isn't it. Rika-chan said in the brightest voice she could manage as she rubbed her eyes. Man, I'm never good at thinking the voice they're gonna be making. She didn't look anywhere near normal though. What happened? You weren't sleeping on the storehouse roof and then fall off or anything, did you? Don't worry about me. I have something I want to ask you, Punchy. Oh god. Oh! Like I said, really close to the screen. Rika-chan walked over and clung to me. At first, I thought she was playing a trick on me. Eventually, however, I realized that it was so I wouldn't run from the question she was about to ask. I shuddered. What do you want from me? She looked straight into my eyes. Her upturned eyes bored right into me. It was as though she was trying to pull the answer out of my own eyes without actually asking me the question. It was scary, so I averted my eyes from her. Punchy, did you do something bad on the night of the festival? Well, my body gave a jolt from its very core. Rika-chan, who was clinging to me, might have felt my shiver. A nervous tingle crawled up from my feet, and after going up my back and freezing my entire body, it made its way into my brain. Punchy, do you really not remember? My head began to throb. I don't understand anything. Oh jeez. Mian asked me. Oishi-san asked me. Shion asked me. And now Rika-chan was asking me. We thought nobody knew about what we did last night, but in fact everyone knew? They all knew, and they came to ask me. Again and again, until I admitted it. When I thought about it, it was pretty clear the whole thing was out in the open. After all, didn't Tomitake-san's and Takano-san's death prove it? Punchy? How should I respond? We never should have entered the forbidden storehouse, and even though I regretted so much, was she saying it wasn't enough? However, I had but all decide what I was going to say. I'm not exactly a good kid, you know? I've done lots of bad things, so I can't remember anything specific. Just as I had with all the others, I evaded the question. Rika-chan stared up at me with innocent eyes. Her eyes were so painful that I had to look away. A few moments of mutual silence, Rika-chan released me. I'm sorry for asking something strange. Please forget about it. Oh god, Rika, I like Rika the most out of the four, I think. Oh jeez, this is rough, she said, smiling her usual smile. Then tap 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 tap. She went running off as if nothing had happened. As she retreated in silence, I could feel her accusing me. Rika-chan! If she didn't hear my voice, then I was going to give up. However, she heard it. Rika-chan swiveled around and waited for me to continue. I was the one who had questions now. Still, asking any of them could just be a half-assed way of admitting it. Of what I did, I think it said. Hey Rika-chan. What is it? If everyone knows anyway, then I should be able to at least ask this, right? Why is everyone asking me about the night of the festival? That evening, had I done something wrong? I felt plenty sorry about it, and I only looked away. I didn't break anything or steal anything, really. Still, Tomitake-san and Takano-san, they died so miserably. Since those two had come to such an end, there's obviously no way it would forgive only me. Rika-chan cutely tilted her head in confusion and waited for me to say something. If I were to admit what happened last night, though, she might suddenly go and do 180 as if flipping a switch. That would make sense. Rika-chan was the shrine maiden. So was the least likely to forgive me for breaking the taboo, wasn't she? Upon reflection, wouldn't telling her be more terrifying than telling Mian or Oishi-san? Rika-chan could just give up and leave, couldn't she? She didn't. She only was quietly waiting for me to say it myself. Say it, Punchy Mirabara. If you really are sorry, then you should say so. Of course, it's normal to hesitate, given the crazy way Tomitake-san and Takano-san died. A pulping machine called Chaos was grinding up in my brain. The juice wrung out of it turned into big drops of sweat, which began to fall. Punchy? Rika-chan suddenly straightened up, trying to pat me on the head. I don't really understand what you're worried about, Punchy. I had nothing to say to that. I lowered my head so little that Rika-chan's palm could reach it. She petted me, kind of like one who would a cat. Do you know about the big storehouse a little way behind the shrine grounds? It stores the implements we use for rituals. Oh shit. My breath literally stopped. Rika-chan, though, wasn't acting in a coercive way at all. Apparently, on the night of the festival, a cat snuck into the storehouse. A cat? Yes, a cat. Meow meow. Rika-chan knew. She realized I was in fear. I could tell she was desperately trying to choose the right words so she wouldn't scare me. The cat always wanted to explore inside the warehouse, but I was mean to it, and I never let it go inside. So on the night of the festival, the cat couldn't hold itself back any longer and went inside. The cat... It was clearly supposed to be Takano-san. Oh wait, was it supposed to be me? No, it would be Takano. Inside, there were actually a lot of things that scared the cat. Rika-chan made a cute gesture like a ghost was coming out to frighten me. The cat was both terrified and amazed. It ran away as fast as it could. Clatter, clatter, shiver, shiver, meow, meow. It was terrible. This cat, who are you saying it was? The cat is a cat. Meow, meow. Rika-chan still avoided saying it. The cat, though, was without a doubt me. Rika-chan, please, tell me. The cat, what should it do now? Maybe it was a desperate question to ask. I sort of admitted to being the cat. The cat's just a cat, so we can just keep meowing and everything will be fine. Huh. That's a better end than I thought it'd be, from Rika. Okay, we're gonna end it there. I've been going a little over than what I would like to be, so it's the end of the 3 for this week, unless I can conjure up some time, which could very well be. Yeah. Talking to Rika, it was creepier, but it didn't end as bad as I feel like it would have been if it was Mian or Rena. Next time I hope we can get Shion back into our good graces because we were kind of an asshole to her. And, well, I am hoping, but I know things are gonna get pretty bad, as they always do. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time on Higurashi. Bye-bye.